Hello and welcome to I Am Geek, and this is episode 59. We know you've been waiting for it. We're back. We're all here, and we got some other special guests with us too. But this is the episode where we discuss Solo, a Star Wars story. This will be our roundtable discussion. We will discuss the good, the bad, the ugly, the cameos, the Easter eggs, and everything else. This is going to be so much fun, and it sounds like from what we talked about pre-show that there could be some mixed reviews. It couldn't maybe not be all one-sided, so we shall see. But Katrin's on, Chris is on, my brother. I flipped it that time, see? And we can't go first. Yeah, we can't do a Star Wars episode without the man, the myth, the legend, Ray Chase. He is here with us.
I'm here.
Wow. Woo! The crowd goes wild.
Thank you, both of you.
And I'm sorry, it was in my contract that I go before Katrin, so I don't know.
Do we got to do that over?
Okay, I'm here with my brother Chris and our good pal Katrin. Does that fix the?
Okay, yeah, there we
go. Rewind.
Does that fix the universe or whatever?
I guess so. I want this to stew you now.
Anyways, and then we have a new guest on. First, I think he's still there. He's awful quiet, but he's waiting his turn, like all good guests should. He's waiting his turn.
I don't know why you're looking at me when you say that.
No.
This corner.
Katrin, would you like to introduce your friend, or would you like me to introduce him?
I can introduce him. So today we do have a very special guest. His name is Brad Jenkins. Brad Jenkins, work with Brad, and Chris has his animator vault. So maybe this can be my geek vault or my nerd vault or something like that.
Your IT vault?
Your
IT vault. I got it. My server.
I literally
rack.
hold
your
the ranking
server
champ
rack. I like
title of comic book nerd in the IT department.
That's right.
Ooh.
Not
he
hard.
likes to say that he keeps the nerdiness in the IT department because most
They're
of us don't.
They're talking about ESPN and sports and stuff. It's nuts.
Oh.
So this is your from your IT rack. Is that what you're saying?
Or server rack. Yeah, maybe that's
the server rack.
The server room. Maybe I keep him in the server room. That's Katrin's. I don't know if I like calling him a rack.
Server rack.
Katrin's server room.
I thought this was kid friendly.
Yeah. Well, you'll see that there's a lot of innuendo.
In your window.
Yeah. So Chris has his vault. I don't know. I guess I have my brothel or something. I don't know.
That's
why nobody's been on for me.
Now PG.
Gee whiz.
No.
Yikes.
I have a guest coming next week. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's going to work out. I don't know if I should announce it this week or not. In case he doesn't show. But he should be here. We got it worked out, I think. If you're a YouTuber or a YouTube guy, I guess I have a thing for YouTube people. That's my vault. All these YouTube people.
Ryan's
tubers. Tube vault.
Tubers. My tubes.
Tube
Ryan's tubes. Coming straight out of Ryan's tubes this week.
But you never.
Wait. So
we need to start over.
We got to start over.
We got to start over. Anyways, I'm sorry, children. We mean nothing by this. It's good old fashioned
Legos.
fun. Legos. My Little Pony. G.I. Joe. No, he's a YouTube guy. His name is Micah. He's from the world of Micah. He's hopefully going to be on next week, if not next week, another week. But we're shooting for next week with. So check him out on YouTube. He does a lot of stuff in Orlando through the parks and stuff. So he'll be on next week. Anyway.
Cool.
And I'll try to treat him better than I've treated you, Brad. I'm sorry.
That's cool, man.
Wow.
Oh, I have two small children, a 9-month-old and a 3-year-old, and they gave me a run for the money tonight, so I'm sort of out of it. Hopped up on Mountain Dew. Not a sponsor.
I'm so surprised.
Where's the Doritos?
I know. But this week we are
sponsored. My son's birthday today. It's 5 years old.
Oh,
so.
Awesome.
And you chose to be with us. Well,
Spider-Man bike, Spider-Man helmet, and a playset.
Nice.
Cool.
Is it a Spider-Man playset?
No, it's an outdoor cedar.
Oh.
Wreck your wallet.
Oh.
Costco playset.
Oh, cool.
Chris, I
One
didn't
of
ring.
those.
Paint it red and blue, and there'll be a Spider-Man
Yeah.
voice.
Oh, one.
There you go.
Done.
Tonight we're sponsored by Gary Street Media for all your book needs. He's got a new book out. That's why I mentioned that because he's here with us.
Oh, is he in the room with you?
No. Yes, he's sitting behind me in the corner.
He's got
staring.
a gun to the side waiting.
Yeah. Plug the
Say
book.
it.
Say it.
Say it. The Road to Panama, right? That's the new book. He's going to listen to this and go, you forgot the name of the title.
It's new. How are you supposed to remember?
Yeah, anyways, check him out on Amazon. He's paying us a lot of money.
He didn't give birth to you, but he helped bring you into this world.
Tonight on I Am Geek, the birds and the bees.
Yeah. Anyways, we've already been through tubes and racks and vaults, so let's move on to Solo while we still maybe have 2 listeners.
Not a solo listener.
Oh.
Dad jokes.
It's meta.
Oh man. I had a thing pop up on my Facebook feed the other night that said that something from last year. It's like, oh, we just finished episode 10 of I Am Geek, and now we're on episode like 59. Technically, there's more than that, but official episodes.
Yeah. We can't count, so it's okay.
No.
It's not
Because we
required
had Ming Chen on as a special one from Comic Book Man, so that was, so technically there's over 60 episodes. But anyways, hopefully you checked out our Comic Palooza stuff. If not, go listen to it, even though the sound's a little off.
Ray's like, nope.
we had some technical difficulties, but okay. So hopefully everything's sounding good tonight. So let's dive right in now. When Katrin and Chris were here was the opening weekend of Solo, and we were going crazy with Comic Palooza. So we decided at the end of day 1, right?
Yes.
Friday to go
Friday night
to go see Solo together, and it was sort of a last minute thing. It was a last minute thing, so our seats were really close, and they were second row, and they were recliners, and they were leather, and they're comfy,
and also to the left of the screen.
To the left of the screen,
you could go.
There was
you could go.
food, and Katrin and I fell asleep.
Yeah,
at various times. I woke up.
Yeah,
because there were speakers underneath our seats, right?
No, there wasn't.
No, really, it was just that loud. Wow, it was so loud because it was just like it was rumbling.
Really
that was me. Sorry.
Movies interrupting my nap.
You know what? I was telling Carla, my wife, about this, about the theater, and I said I felt like, or somebody, I don't know who it was, I felt like WALL-E, the movie WALL-E, because the people in the chairs where they're getting fed and they're watching movies, and I was like, because these people would just walk up and bring us food, and I'm reclined in the seat, and it was so comfortable. Yeah, it was bad news, but
could you feed it to me? Just put it.
Right. You push a button on your chair and they come to you. It's like
it's really fancy. Studio Movie Grill, shout out, not a sponsor, but they should be. I don't know. Anyway, so I fell asleep I feel like I had to send part of my food back because it was bad, so that got me out of it, and then I fell asleep, and I just got water instead of caffeine, so that didn't help. And I kept falling asleep and waking up. And so, like, what I saw, I really liked. But then I was like, how did that happen? And where did that come from? And what's going on?
Han Solo, 2 stars. The chicken nuggets were terrible.
Yeah. But that's not, falling asleep during Solo is probably not the worst thing I've ever done in a movie theater. So, that's okay.
Yep.
All right.
The needle is touching 13.
Okay.
There was that time I was asked to leave.
No, I've never been asked to leave a movie theater, but I was a teenager once, so.
Okay.
Okay,
we're just letting that lie right there.
Off the rails tonight.
Need I say more?
I have a really funny sad story, but I won't.
I've seen Solo twice, and I've been awake both times.
There you go.
It's not one of my favorite Star Wars movies, but it's up there. So Rogue One's still a favorite. And Han Solo, I could see why some people are mad. Definitely not as bad as Last Jedi, but had some good parts. I mean, it's just a good popcorn, turn off your brain movie. So, and it's a space western. That's always good for the kids.
Yeah.
Kids love the westerns.
And it threw in some good stuff, like expanded universe, Legends. Now it's not canon anymore, so that's wasted years of my life. All the content I've read. But if you watch Rebels, the animated show on Disney,
way ahead of everything here.
Yeah, sorry. I got ribs.
This is an hour show. We gotta spread it out.
No, I just, I like their little introduction of like little tidbits, trivia along the way.
Yeah. Oh, we should say before we get into this is going to be a spoiler-filled episode. So if you have not seen Solo,
I was trying to toe that line. I didn't know if I should spoil stuff.
So if you haven't seen Solo, go watch Solo before you listen to this.
He dies.
So
they all die.
Wouldn't that be funny if like Solo just died at the end of it? And everybody's like,
unexpected.
What?
You're messing up the timeline.
The Solo we know isn't actually Solo. He dies in the movie. Someone takes his place.
Yes.
And that's the Solo that we know. That's why he looks nothing like Harrison Ford.
Yes. But it's okay because there's an animated show coming on XD that'll explain everything.
Yeah.
All right. So sorry, I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys the story of my movie experiences offline.
Well, I don't know if we really want to know that online or offline. But you can move along. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang up as soon as this is over. I'm not sticking around.
I won't tell you. I'll take it to my.
Now, really. I don't want to chance it.
I think we've said all we needed to say. Let's get out of here.
I'll take it to my grave. It's sort of funny, but
you should record it and then you can listen to it
whenever I want to.
At least you told somebody that way.
Gosh. Anyways,
put it in your wills. Like, go back and find this recording. Here are all my secrets.
It was funny. It was a funny story. But now you've robbed our listeners of.
Wow.
So Solo, yeah.
So I thought we would start by sort of going around our round table, since we're not even. I'm at a rectangle table.
It's kind of square.
Square table, and just say overall thoughts. I liked the movie. I didn't like the movie. I sort of liked the movie, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of it. Sound good?
Sure.
Great.
Yes.
I like meat.
So Chris likes meat.
Yes.
Not really potatoes, unless it's from.
Delicious.
Anyways. Okay, so Chris, since you like meat, go ahead. What was your overall thoughts on the movie?
Okay. I liked it. I thought it was entertaining. Like it kept me entertained, kept me awake.
Jab.
I actually, if I think about it with him not as Han Solo, I think I like it more.
Yeah.
Because I'll give it this to the guy. Like, he did a lot better than I thought he would do. Because I've seen that actor in other stuff, and I just didn't like him. He's done like a terrible Southern accent in one movie, and then acted really dumb in another one, which I don't think necessarily he was acting. And
shots fired.
I just don't like the guy's acting. I'm sorry. But I thought this is the best thing I've seen him in, definitely. And Khaleesi did a good job.
Who?
You're like,
Kira.
Game of
Mother
Thrones.
of Dragons.
Mother of Dragons.
Yeah, I don't watch
Sarah
that show.
Connor.
Come on.
The mother of everything.
Yeah.
But I liked a lot of little nods and stuff and everything. I don't know, some people were upset that they showed the Kessel Run. That's what it was. But I enjoyed it. And probably the best part of the movie for me was Lando. Even though there's a weird relationship with the robot through me. Like, all right, why not? But overall, I mean, it was a good watch. I'd watch it again, unlike Last Jedi, which I will not watch again. But it's not my favorite Star Wars movie, but I don't really want to consider it a Star Wars movie, and I like it better that way. So,
Well, there we go. Katrin?
Sure.
Did you see it twice?
I saw it twice.
Okay.
So I took the family Saturday, and I told my wife, I said, just don't think of it as a Star Wars movie, and you'll be fine. I didn't remember a lot of it before we went, but I was kind of on the fence before because I missed, like you said, I missed a lot of parts, and I didn't know if I should like it or not. I was like, I don't know. I mean, whatever. But I did enjoy it better, kind of going into it. Okay, this is not a Star Wars movie until the end of the movie, and just enjoy it for what it is. And our son went as well. He's 6, almost 7, and he was ready to go when it was pretty much over, but he did say that he enjoyed all the fighting scenes, and I can agree with that. I like the scene where they're fighting in the yacht at the end, and that was pretty good. But overall, I think I liked it. He was okay as a Han, but not great. I kept thinking of Bill Hader every time I saw him from Saturday Night Live. In fact, I looked it up. I was like, did he do one of those episodes where it was like they were doing the casting? And he did. They were doing like the fake casting, and he was Han Solo. And I was like, oh, it's Bill Hader. But I thought it was good. The second time when I saw it, and when I saw Darth Maul, and I kept thinking about that coming up, I was like, oh, this is kind of exciting, because it kind of does make you think of like, oh man, if they do another one, then he's going to be in it. So I don't feel like I got a lot of development out of him from the first set of movies, and I've not watched Rebels, so that's kind of exciting to think about. But yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like a Star Wars movie. It doesn't feel like it fits great until the end, when they start talking about like we're starting this rebellion, we're doing all this. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
Ray?
I mean, I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it while I was watching it. I felt like some stuff could have been better. Some stuff could have been handled a little bit differently that would have made it a little bit better, which we could get into later on. I guess, I mean, one thing, I couldn't put my finger on it until it was over. If they never made the movie, I don't think I would have missed. I don't think we would have missed out on anything, because one of my problems when they announced that they were doing a Han Solo movie, and I think the reason why a lot of people are responding to Lando, and they want a Lando movie, and this was kind of the thing with the prequel movies, is you have the existing trilogy and you have all this hinted at backstory, where they've already alluded, to the Kessel Run and Jabba and his checkered past, and it ends up being dropped in Empire that he won the Falcon from Lando. So you have all this stuff, all this backstory to kind of mull around in your mind, and now it's like, no, we're going to show it to you, and here's the Kessel Run, and here he is winning the ship, and it's just like, okay, check. Oh, now they're gonna go see Jabba. Check. And it's like, and that's kind of how the prequels were in a way. It was like, Anakin meets Kenobi, and and things are talked about and insinuated, and now it's like, now we're going to show you all those events, and you might be underwhelmed with exactly how it went. And I feel like with like Lando in the existing movies, there's so little of him, and they don't really talk about him much other than his connection to Han, and he knows Chewbacca and whatnot. Had they made a Lando film, and if they had this guy as Han and Chewie, and they ended up crossing paths, almost like reversing it, where it was more Lando based, and Han and Chewie happen to be there, like they're part of the gang that's taken down, whatever. I feel like it might have gone just a little bit better for me. I don't know. It just sort of seemed like I enjoyed what I was watching, and I was like, yeah, you know what? If they made another one of these, I'd probably go see it. because there's some other places they could go. But it was almost like I was enjoying it more once they got all their little checklist stuff off. Like after they, were doing other things and they were running from, the Marauders, and I like that sequence when they were transporting the stuff at the beginning.
Yeah.
When the little monkey guy got offed and whatnot. I mean, that was kind of cool. It was kind of different. It was kind of new, and you didn't know what to expect. The Council Run, you knew he was going to make it, and you knew the ship was going to. Yeah, so it was just kind of like just waiting for the next thing to sort of happen. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we can get into other complaints and stuff.
Brad, are you still there?
I'm still here. Still here.
We didn't run him off. So, overall thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Ray. It's a story that's already been told. Especially they've hammered it down in the expanded universe before Disney bought Star Wars. It was already there, explained in detail, and really, it wasn't until they started getting into who his kids were that I started getting really interested in Star Wars again. And then, of course, Force Awakens happens, and you're like, oh, is this his three kids? Like, they're actually doing their three kids again. And no, they just threw it all out the window. So now it's all
Ryan Johnson! Sorry.
But it's kind of like, for me, I love Star Wars, and I don't care if they produce just garbage. I'm going to watch it.
I believe that is called The Last Jedi. No, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I'm actually against the flow with Last Jedi. I really liked it. I know that puts me at odds with
Good night,
pretty much
everybody. No.
Yeah.
Well, that was Brad.
But let me explain myself really quick. Last Jedi does exactly what needs to be done for Star Wars. If it's going to survive past 9.
No.
You got to kill off everything that mattered, and you got to start new.
No.
So, I mean, we're gonna get stuff that's like, what's Rey's background up until she gets found in the desert. That's what we're gonna get, and that's why Solo kind of sucked. So, but yeah, Solo, a good space film, not necessarily a good Star Wars film. Monkey getting fireflied was pretty cool.
Firefly.
Aww.
Poor John Favreau.
It was a good twist on, seeing how he saves, quote unquote, saves Chewbacca. Originally, he stopped an Imperial officer from like tasing him, and in this movie, he doesn't get eaten by Chewbacca, so saved. I don't know, life debt. There you go. I don't know. Like Ray said, it's just a story that probably shouldn't have been made. Hopefully Disney learns their lesson and realizes they just lost $50 million on this movie, so they just don't make movies like this again. They give us like Boba Fett's backstory, not been explained.
Yeah, Solo, no one saw it.
Or the fact that like most people don't know that Darth Maul didn't die. He has robot legs, and he went on, head of a Crimson Dawn and all this stuff, and then he ultimately gets killed by Obi-Wan. So, spoiler. Read your books.
Anyways,
Sorry.
yeah, we'll get more into that in a little bit.
Everyone.
Yeah, but I okay. First time I watched it, I liked it because I liked what I saw. But then the second time, I went with my dad's in town. We went and saw it last night, and I loved it. I loved it as a movie, and I loved it as a Star Wars movie because it was that fun popcorn movie. And to me, that's what Star Wars should be. It should be a fun movie that you go to with your family or by yourself or with your friends and just be like, that was fun, space opera, we had fun. Not this, let's try to break the mold type stuff. I liked it. It had its comedy, it had its action. It had, it had some death, but even in the death, or deaths,
There was comedy.
There was, there was that, lighter tone. It wasn't.
Well, I didn't leave mad or anything like that, so that was a plus.
Yeah,
I can check that box. And I asked my son, we always, kind kind of check with everybody when it's over. Like, what'd you think? What'd you think? And he's 11, and it was kind of funny because he was like, well, I think this is like my favorite Star Wars since Disney has bought them and has been making the Star Wars films. And I was like, what? Who are you?
You're so
Well, since they've bought them, I feel like the quality's not. And I was like, really? And that's your favorite one? It's your, even more than Force Awakens? And he's like, yeah, this is my favorite one since Disney's been making the Star Wars films. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. I mean,
Go to your room.
go to your room and think about what you just said. Yeah, and so from a kid's perspective, he dug it, and I could see it too. I mean, again, I liked it better than Last Jedi. I have a hard time comparing it to Rogue One because tonally it's so different.
Yeah.
It's nice seeing a movie that's in that world of Star Wars, where the whole fate of the galaxy doesn't hang on the actions of the characters, and they don't have to blow up something gigantic at the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's what my dad said. He said, "You know what I liked about this movie?" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "That there was no Death Star."
Yes.
He was like, "They did a Star Wars movie without a Death Star or some kind of big thing that they had to blow up, and it was good, and it was it was okay that they did that." So that was his
we
two
had
cents.
kids. Yeah, we had kids sitting next to us when we saw it, and they got up and they seemed to enjoy it. They're like, "When's the next? When do you think they're going to make the next one?" They're like asking their parents and stuff.
Oh, I must have been asleep.
You were both asleep. I think.
I think they could. I know they probably won't, but they could make a sequel to this movie.
A trilogy?
A trilogy. They could. They would be
Solo
solo,
trilogy?
duo, and yeah,
Trio.
trio.
I don't think they should do a sequel. I think they should take what they did in this and do a Lando movie
Or
and follow them.
Well, I
movie
mean,
or
I think they could
something,
take the characters that they introduced in this movie and build off them.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, they
prequel Solo and go deeper. What was he like as a kid?
Solo, going
Do
deeper.
you have a little friend?
There is a good book series that's not canon anymore that goes through the life of Han Solo, and it's a very, very good book series. I wish they just done that, but I think there was probably not necessarily meant to be, but to me there was some nods from that book series in this movie.
Oh, totally. You're talking about the Han Solo novels, the 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read, I think, like either two of the 3 or whatever, but there's that one with the crystal skull on the cover, which is in Paul Bentley's room with all of his artifacts and stuff. There's a giant skull, crystal skull kind of thing, which is a nod to the cover of that book, which I thought was kind of.
And even his book, there was
not to last.
There is an Indiana Jones relic in the movie in Paul Bettany, whatever.
You're talking about like the Legacy one, right? That book.
Yeah. What was it like? Han Solo and the Lost Legacy, or
that's it.
Was that it?
Yeah,
that was a good.
That's
guess.
it. I remember that.
Yeah, because it had a really cool cover. It
had
had like a skull on the front, and it had Han like in a blue shirt with a black vest, and
You're neat.
You're neat.
Oh, here's the one I was talking
Do you
about.
have it?
This is the one that I was talking about.
Oh man.
Oh, those. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna find mine. I'll be right back.
I love these books. Star Wars Paradise Snare, The Hutt Gambit, and Rebel Dawn.
Oh, okay.
Very good, very good series.
The ones we're talking about predate those. These are like. I mean, I was reading these when I was like in grade school and stuff. There was like 3 of them.
Wow.
I think one was called Han Solo's Revenge. I think it had like a red cover, and then there was The Lost Legacy, and there was one other one, and there was also some Lando books, which I think took place when he had the Millennium Falcon. So
yeah, I think so. Probably.
It like predated
I've
when he
got
lost.
so many Star Wars books down here that I haven't even read that was given to me.
Yeah, they're all holding up his desk.
Yeah.
Don't take that one out.
But none of that matters now, which is Disney bought it, which was
Okay, I found
Matters
them.
to me.
Oh, he's found his books. We can't see
Yeah,
them.
there's Lost Legacy,
Okay.
Han Solo Revenge, and
Yes.
Star's End. Star's End.
Yeah. Revenge has the red cover, right? And like
Yeah.
the foreground, and okay. Yeah,
It's like Chewbacca's just sitting there with his bowcaster, and he's like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
Because you guys can see this, right?
Yeah. No.
I bet you're wondering how I got this bowcaster. Well, in Solo 2, you'll find out.
Adjust glasses vigorously.
Why does he go down to one bandolier?
Dude, I was half
Do
expecting
better?
something to happen, and then lose one, and I was like, "Oh, come on!"
Like he gets it stuck, and he's like,
It's like it's turning into the beginning of Last Crusade, where it's like he gets his scar, his hat, his fear of snakes, all within like 45 minutes. That's amazing.
Anyways,
It works.
but
It
there's
works on Last Crusade.
the
It's fun, but
the idol from Raiders of the Lost Ark is in there, in his on the yacht. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
It's like briefly seen, but it's in there, and it is a little nod to Indiana Jones.
Nice.
Of course, there was Mandalorian armor in there too. Since we
was
talked
it,
about the wait, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I don't remember her name in it at all. Khaleesi.
Kira.
You're
Kira.
obsessed.
It's a tough name,
Yeah.
Chris.
It's a tough thing.
It's
Khaleesi
not
is so much
easier than
easier.
Khaleesi.
Yeah.
It's got a cute.
Yeah, Kira is so much harder.
It
to
just
say.
doesn't roll
It
off
is.
the tongue like Khaleesi.
Khaleesi. Yeah,
Kahlua.
so much better. But she mentions a Easter egg to an old Star Wars game that was really bad. She says like
Don't
so
shit,
when she
don't
takes
say
out that
she has the Empire.
when she takes out the guy in his office, you don't really see it,
Hmm.
and the robot goes, "I've never seen that before," and she mentions some form of martial arts.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And it's a fighting style that's actually from some old Star Wars video game that no one liked. Like they went deep with stuff. It's so weird. Man.
It's so weird.
It's so weird.
Oh my gosh.
I
Oh
thought
my God.
we got a question.
Star
A
Wars.
question that just came in on Twitter
Ooh.
That's
Wow.
just in.
It's not even a live episode.
from at UF Bonehead 55. It's a guy I know named Jason.
Oh, good. I'm 54, so that's
Yeah, there's 54 other UF boneheads. Anyways, Jason, sorry. But since we mentioned a trilogy, or this sort of fits in a little bit, what was the real reason it did less than expected at the box office? Because good movie, right? Right? Yeah, it's a good movie. I have my thoughts on why it did bad at the box office.
Do tell.
And it won't be popular opinion, and I'm sure half of you will say no, that's not why.
rip it like a Band-Aid.
I think it did bad at the box office because of the outcry of Last Jedi. I think if Last Jedi was a well-received movie by the whole Star Wars fandom, that there wasn't backlash and people quitting their Instagrams because of all the hate and all this stuff, then Solo would have done better. But I think people just sort of got tired of it, and they're just like, well, I'm just not going to see whatever the next Star Wars movie. The next Star Wars movie could have been the real reason Boba Fett is who he is, and people would be like, no, I'm not going to see it because I still have this bitter taste in my mouth. I think that was part. I don't think that was all of it, because I think marketing had a part to do with it. Marketing pretty much did not do a good job with it, but I think part of it was the Star Wars fandom just sort of hating each other for either liking it or not liking it, and I think a bunch of them, whichever side they were on, said, well, forget that. I'm not going to watch the next one. I'll just wait for it to come out on Netflix or something. And
I feel like that could be part of it. I think also I think the release time too was just not very good. I mean, the thing was, I had read because originally Last Jedi was supposed to come out Memorial Day weekend last year, which was going to be 2.5 or 3 weeks after Guardians Volume 2. And I was like, what are they doing? I mean, these are kind of going after the same audience. Yeah. They're both space movies, and you're putting them out that close together. So now you have Solo coming out, Infinity War is still doing great, Deadpool's out, and wasn't there something else big that's been out? I just think, I don't know. And I just think that, it's too much too close together, and it's
Disney shooting themselves in the foot a little bit.
You need to spread that stuff out, and and you can't. I don't think you can put it so close to The Last Jedi. And I think the difference, I feel like they're trying to do an MCU kind of thing. They're kind of trying to do like a reverse MCU where now they're trying to do offshoot individual films. I feel like in the MCU, even though there's been the whole thing with the Infinity Gauntlet and Thanos, and that's been kind of an underlying sort of theme, I feel like the movies work really, really well on their own, and they feel different from one another.
Yeah.
And these movies are starting to feel like it's the same world, it's the same problems, it's the same everything.
Mhm.
It's just we're following this person instead of we're following this person. So I just feel like they're all starting to kind of feel too similar. Do like an Old Republic movie. Do something that happened like 100 years
Yeah.
ago or
Yeah.
200
Yeah.
years from now. Something that's visually different and like different characters and whatever, but not the same old thing. I mean, it just starts to feel. It's almost like if they started these Harry Potter films, these Fantastic Beasts. If it was happening at the same timeline
Yeah.
as Harry and them are at school, and it's like, oh, isn't that fun? Now there goes Harry running off to class while this is happening over here, and it's like, it's too. We've already seen this. We know this. Yes, it's cool to see stormtroopers again and whatnot, but it's like we just saw them like 6 months ago. Give us something completely different that's still in the same world and has some of the same sort of fun things, droids and the Force and evil and good and all that, but just it's got to feel new. Otherwise, it starts to feel like it's just
Yeah.
And
And
same
the
thing.
Marvel universe, for the most part, isn't as mainstream as Star Wars. So there's not as many people that knew who Guardians were or know the backstory of Thor or even Iron Man and stuff. So for the moviegoers, there's like, this is something new. I want to understand who this is. But for Star Wars, it's become sort of mainstream, and so most people know at least about Star Wars, knows the characters. So yeah, so I don't know. Maybe they should just stick with having Christmas time be their Star Wars movie time, and then let the summer be dominated by the superheroes.
There are other movies.
Yeah,
Everything else.
everything else.
The other Disney movies.
Which is every other week.
Yeah, because they own everything now.
Hey guys, a new Disney movie's out this week.
I mean, that's
really?
why Rogue One did so well, though, is it didn't tell that story. It told
Mhm.
something different. No one knew anything about these characters. They were just completely made up. Didn't exist in expanded lore or anything like that. It was great. I went in there not knowing anything and came out really happy because you got to see Vader just whoop arse.
I mean, what Brad said is true. I mean, there were so many surprises in Rogue One. I mean, as you guys know, I stay away from all the trailers. I watched the teaser, then I don't watch the trailers, so because they show too much, and I stayed away from so much on Rogue One. So I was surprised, the big fight at the end, with all the ships showing up and doing all that kind of stuff. I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. And then just kind of seeing from a different point of view how those events unfolded, it was fresh. And the thing with Solo is, I mean, it's like going in and watching Titanic, but not having like a love story to like kind of like, it's like, the ship's going to sink, he's going to get the ship, he's going to do the Kessel Run. And I was even
Celine Dion. Right on cue.
Because the thing I can't. Well, I don't think I was telling Chris this, but I was telling somebody this. I liked that they did the bait and switch when he was playing cards with Lando the first time, because when they were playing cards the first time, I was like, "You got to be kidding me! They're going to do this now? They're going to have him win the Falcon now?" And then they didn't, and I was like, "Oh, that's great! A little bait and switch." You thought he was going to. I would have loved it if he had done. He had played cards with him again at the end. Thinks he has him. He loses again. Maybe this is an ongoing thing. Maybe he's played him like 5 times trying to win this ship, and it's like it's just taken him like a while. I mean, instead of just kind of giving us what we already know, like kind of throw it in a different direction. I mean, just like if they do a sequel and he goes to see Jabba, don't have the job that he does for Jabba be the job that he gets in trouble for. Have him work for Jabba for like 5 years. Have him become like Jabba's like #1 guy. Running jobs, working with Greedo, and then he ends up screwing up, gets on his, bad
but
list.
they probably
and
won't
then,
make the sequel.
I'm just saying, if they do, they're probably
Yeah.
going to do it exactly the
So,
way
were you
think it's gonna go,
surprised by the head of the organization? Wow, I just forgot the name of it.
Disney.
No. The Syndicate. What's it called? The Dawn.
Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn. Were you surprised that it was Darth Maul since you didn't know anything about Clone Wars
Oh
or
yeah,
Rebels?
I was. Well, I knew. I knew that he was alive again in
Okay.
Rebels, and I had seen the fight with him in Obi-Wan where he ends up getting killed. But for a moment there, when he comes up on screen and he's like talking, and I'm like, wait a minute. Is this before Phantom?
Right.
What the? Wait a minute.
That's what
How
I
old
asked
is
Ryan.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're taking
That's what I asked
that.
Ryan when we saw it. I was like, when is this movie supposed to be?
Yeah. Then
How
it
old
hit
is
me. Then it hit me, and I was like, oh, so they're taking stuff from the cartoon, and that's okay. And then afterwards, my son's like, well, yeah, you saw the robot legs, and he's alive again. I'm like, yeah, I know he's alive again, but in the movies, he's not alive again. You can't just bring characters back. No explanation in the movies.
You just cut him in half like that.
They had set up in even Rogue One that the cartoons mattered, because in Rogue One you see like at the Rebel base Chopper from Rebels, and they even announce the pilot from Rebels over the intercom.
And they show the ghost of the ship.
And they show the ship, the ghost.
Well, they should say that in the opening crawl.
Well, that was one of the questions
Yeah.
that said,
Adults, watch your cartoons.
one of the questions that got sent in was, so let's, okay, so how do they handle the story from here with Maul? Do we see Maul in Fett movie? What about Obi-Wan movie? More in Crimson Dawn? Is it expected? I'm sure, but really? I'm not sure how I feel about him making an appearance. I didn't notice spider legs in the movie. Did I miss it? Also, did the timeline feel off to anyone else? Or just me? And then I answered him. I went ahead and answered. So to clear up the timeline for everybody that's listening, and Ray, but Ray probably already has a timeline. So in Clone Wars, he makes his appearance again, and he's like sort of crazy in this cave, and he's got spider legs. He's
robotic spider legs.
Robotic spider, yeah, yes, actual spider
Not real
legs.
Spider legs.
Itty bitty.
Yeah,
yeah, really tiny.
Keeps falling over.
And then,
Don't skip leg day.
And then I won't go through the whole thing, but then he goes down from spider legs to just the two legs, and then he appears in Rebels with the two legs. Later on, an older version of him, where he faces off with Obi-Wan for one last time. So this takes place between the Clone Wars and Rebels in the timeline. And that's why he has the two legs. When I saw the legs, I was like, it's Darth Maul. I was like, they're doing it. They're doing it. And I heard the voice, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I love that they actually, so the actual Darth Maul person is Ray Park.
Yeah.
Like they used him, and the voice is Sam Witwer,
yeah.
who does the voice on Rebels.
And Battlefront.
And Battlefront. He does a ton of different voices for Star Wars.
Yeah.
So it's great that they used him.
I loved seeing Darth Maul, and I don't think if they do the Obi-Wan movie, which looks like they're going to, I don't think he's going to be in it, because I don't think it will match up timeline, because he doesn't see really Obi-Wan again until Rebels.
And I like Darth Maul. I love Darth Maul. He's actually one of my favorite Star Wars characters, even though he wasn't really in Star Wars that much. But the thing of bringing him in there, if they were going to do a sequel with him, is against like, we already know what happens to him.
Yeah.
So there's no like, oh, are they going to kill Darth Maul? Are they actually going to get rid of him? Like, no, they're not. They may like beat him, and like he'll curse them as he's like flying away on a ship or something. But
I think I think though, if they do, or we're going to do a sequel, I think it would still be a role sort of like it is in this one. I don't think he would be a major player. I think he would be somebody in the background. And
but see, my argument to that is, then what's the point? It's kind of like you're just doing it to go, oh, look, it's Darth Maul. You like Darth Maul. He can't interact with Han, and you know he's going to die, but you're going to have some really cool hollows of him, and he's going to pull in his lightsaber for no reason, and it's going to be awesome.
but I don't even know if they. I mean, there's rumors that they were going to do a trilogy, but I don't know because it may have the Star Wars stories that they're doing. It may just be one-offs, and that's just all they're going to do, no matter what.
That was my impression, though, is they were going to go with Obi-Wan next.
Yeah.
And then probably do like Fett.
Yeah.
And like kind of branch out, just have like these one-offs, and then have cameos down the road, like Orlando, where Han and he's like, oh, Han, and he's like, oh, hey, Chewie, and they're like, oh, yeah, you want to play some cards? And he's like,
yeah. I love that they called him Han. He called him Han. I love that he called him Han.
Oh, I love that too.
That's so funny.
I laughed out loud. I laughed out loud because Billy D. Williams always called him the wrong name, and then it was just great when he was like, "It's Han." Actually, well, never mind, it's fine.
I don't need a script reading.
It was so funny. I'm fine with it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying Darth Maul would be a welcome kind of reprieve. You get an actual really cool bad guy that can do bad things to people that you kind of build up around Han. Not necessarily Han's character itself, but he might axe down Kira, and that might make Han just be like, build up all the Titanic folk that are going there to cry. And
if they took it, to me, I think it would be better, at least for me, if they took it, they did a Lando movie and Darth Maul and his like syndicate, and he's up against him, and that kind of gets him into like maybe Cloud City and all that, and that's kind of where it ends up. Because if he's getting this into the syndicate, because the syndicate that he's running, Crimson Dawn, isn't in Rebels and everything. So if he's able to topple that, and that's what kind of takes him down in the movie technically, and so then he goes off and accomplishes everything you see in the cartoons. But to make him like the foe for Solo,
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Because it's like, oh, Han Solo's facing a Jedi, and in the old movies he's like, I don't really believe in all that stuff. But now he's facing like an ex-Jedi, and starts to get into the Force stuff, and I don't want to see that.
Yeah, and you would think he would have known better when he pulled a gun on Vader if he had gone up against Maul ahead of time. Like, this isn't gonna work.
I can't see his eyes, so maybe he's not looking at me quick.
He's blinking.
So in this movie, there's been talk about how does Han get to who he is in the original trilogy? Because in this movie he was sort of the good guy, happy-go-lucky guy, and when we first see him in the original trilogy, he's not quite that.
I think it's Kira.
Yeah.
Kira being lost to him in more ways than one, and then if there's a sequel and she actually dies, that kind of his whole purpose essentially is gone. Now he's just got Chewie, and it's only like him and Chewie against the whole universe.
Hey, but a Wookiee's very good to sit in their lap and fall asleep.
A Wookiee's rage is nothing to meddle with. Rip your arm off, kid.
Good at cuddling. I love to see where he rips the guy's arms off.
Yeah.
You gonna learn today.
He's like, that's the suit that would fit me.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
It'll buff out.
It didn't bother me the difference in his character because it's 10 years. I mean, a lot can happen to you that will change you.
Yeah, I was just thinking, are they going to? Is that what the next? If they're going to do a trilogy, what would we see?
I mean, like I said, I would love it. If they were going to do another one, and if he's going to go to Tatooine and start working for Jabba, if it's like almost like another, like a Dirty Dozen kind of thing, where it's another team, it's another group, maybe Greedo is part of it or something. Not too many characters we've already seen, but again, in A New Hope, I mean, there is a hint at history there, where he recognizes Greedo, he knows Greedo. I've waiting a long time for this, like they've had run-ins before, so. You could have him kind of back in that world, as much as I don't like going back into stuff we've already seen before, and be hanging out with the scum and the villainry, and putting together a team and going on another mission, doing another thing, and just kind of let that build and have Han start to grow in the ranks of being a smuggler and whatnot. I mean, he's only been doing this for like one mission, and we're supposed to believe he's a smuggler that gets a price on his head like that fast. I mean,
Well, he did do the Kessel Run in.
the Falcon did the Castle Run.
I mean, it'd be cool too with Greedo if they did it if they set it up as a rivalry.
Yeah,
in
totally.
Jabba's palace. So and Jabba kind of pits like one against the other, so they're constantly trying to outdo the other person. So you get the animosity that builds up, that leads up to him shooting him. So you can.
We're writing the movies right here. We're writing the movies. Lucasfilm, Disney, call us. We have your sequels.
But instead, what's going to happen is he'll knock on the door. He'll go in to see Jabba. He'll run into this guy and like, "Excuse me, who are you? I'm Boba Fett." Oh, and then it'll just be like this, like, oh God, here we go. Watch yourself, Solo. One day I'll have you right where I want you.
And then Boba Fett comes and wakes him up from a nap, and he's like, Boba Fett, where? Because he can't see quite yet.
Oh,
because he's waking up.
So
turns into a Three Stooges skit, and he hits him with something, and he goes flying.
Time for a segue.
Solo.
So Darth Maul was not the only character from Episode 1 that was in this movie. Do you guys know who the other character was?
Willow.
Well, Wart
Willow.
Davis. Wart Davis reprised his role as Weasel. That's the same guy he played in Episode 1.
Oh.
That is true.
Oh.
Yeah.
The only 2 times he showed his face in the movies.
Yeah, he was part of the rebel people. Another one of the rebels is in Rogue One. I'm not sure.
Well, there's debate on whether that's him or whether it's another person of his race. Edro Two Tubes is what he's called.
Two tubes.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, is he one of your tubers?
He's one of my tubers. Coming down the tube. Anyways, Anthony Daniels is also in the movie. You guys see
That's
him?
right. Real life Anthony Daniels.
Yeah, the real life. So he's actually been in all of the Star Wars movies.
Nice.
He played the guy that when the everybody was exiting the spice mine and the other Wookiee was talking to, or they were doing the headbutt hug or whatever. He was like, come with me. That was Anthony Daniels.
Oh.
He's British.
Yeah.
He's British.
Come with me.
Pip Cheerio, come with me. So all our British listeners,
gotta go claim
sorry
some
about that.
chimney.
I wonder what the deleted scenes are going to be like now that you have like half the movie being redone.
Oh,
That's the Blu-ray I want to own.
70% of the movie was reshot. The main bad guy was actually played by a different actor.
The black guy, yeah.
I forget his name. I have to go back and find it.
Okay.
I think to answer your question as to why it's not doing so well, I don't know that people were really asking, what's Han's backstory? Right? It's like, it's not going to be, I don't know. I don't know what to expect, I guess, but it's not like all this lightsabers and things that we're used to in Star Wars movies, but it's like, I don't know, is that what people want to see? I don't know. I mean,
yeah, well, used to, it just like if you said there's a Star Wars movie coming out,
yeah,
then it was like everybody's there. And now
Sure.
I think it's just like after the past year or two, everybody's like, there's another Star Wars movie coming out.
Yeah, and that's what I've seen.
it.
I'm sorry, a lot of is that everybody's saying it's just oversaturation of Star Wars movies. It's just too much, is what people are.
And I would agree with that, because I mean, if you think about when we were younger and the original movies were coming out and so forth, I mean, you had to wait a few years. I mean, which nobody wants to have to wait 3 or 4 years to see a new Star Wars movie, but at the same time, it does build up some anticipation and some desire to go see one. And now it's almost like one comes out, Last Jedi, I didn't like it. It's okay. We'll see what we think of the next Star Wars movie in 6 months, and then maybe that one will be better. No, I didn't like that one either. There's another one coming out. There's that Obi-Wan movie.
I'll just go watch the TV show now.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, and I will say, and Ryan and I have said this before, and I don't know if you finished it, Ray, but the movie or the storyline on the Battlefront 2 game was really good. Like
Yeah.
it could be a movie. If it were a movie, it was a lot like Rogue One, and it would if they made that movie, it would do well. I think. I don't know. It was just really good. Of course, it would look a lot like Rogue One. You're just like, well, we already saw this, but I mean, it was different, but it still felt similar. I feel like so. But it was really good.
Yeah. Oh, Chris, just so you know, the game that you were talking about was on the PlayStation in 1997, and it was called Star Wars Masters of Tiras Caius, or whatever the fighting thing is. A fighting game. It was like a It was like a Mortal Kombat style fighting game, and I'm seeing pictures of it, and it looks pretty bad. There's a deleted scene that I hopefully will be on the Blu-ray, where Solo is in the flight academy, crashes a TIE fighter into the hangar, and gets taken before the council or whatever of the academy to get basically thrown
that would have
out.
been cool. See him actually training to be a good pilot instead of just I am a good pilot.
I'm the best pilot around.
And there's two characters from the comic Dark Horse comics that are in that scene called Tag and Bink, that are part of the people that kick him out. But it was cut because it was cut. But it was the last thing to get cut. It was cut at the final hour, is what it says. It would be interesting to see what the other directors would have made, but Disney hated it. So
Well, I was kind of wondering when he meets Chewie and he's speaking Wookiee to him. I was like, okay, is this from the old one? Because this just seems so goofy. Because I mean, it sounded like us doing our own Chewbacca impersonations, and he's doing it to Chewbacca. And I'm like, all right, is this what you're going to be doing for the whole movie?
Yeah. Well, I can't speak it. I can barely read it.
And then they just stopped doing it, and then they just understood each other fine. I'm like, that's what you should have just done to begin with. I mean, this was the thing. They had to like explain everything. We got to explain this. They had to explain why he calls him Chewie. Really? I mean, couldn't you just have him be like, "Hey, what's your name?" Chewbacca, and have him be like, "Ooh," or that's a mouthful or something, and say, "Oh, that name's kind of long. I'm going to give you a shorter name that kind of sounds like your name, but I'm going to take a few letters out. Maybe Chew or Chewy. We'll work on that." Hitting us over the head with this. Here, kid. Here's your gun. Here's your blaster.
It could have been funny if he was trying out different names throughout the whole thing. Becky.
Hey, Baka. And he's like,
I did think it was neat though about the blaster with that it was a rifle as well. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was kind of neat. And then there's silence.
Sorry. So I was reading something. Sorry.
So while I was watching Lando, I sent you all this picture that I found though, but I kept thinking of the shirt that Theo Huxtable wore in the Cosby Show. I think it was either his sister made or he made. I think it was his sister made.
Yeah.
And it was this shirt that he wanted that was like $100, and nobody would buy it for him, so they were going to make it, and it was terrible. I'm pretty sure that was like a throwback to that, because that collar was huge on it, and it was so funny. That was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My wife actually had a pretty fun idea, which I thought would have been kind of cool. At the end, when he goes to play cards with Lando, if they had been at Maz Katan's place, just kind of like a little shoe-in to Force Awakens. Or maybe not even show Maz. Just
the last game supposedly takes place on a place called Batu, which you will be able to visit at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, really? Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's that time.
Oh.
That's the tie-in.
Come gamble, kids.
I don't know if it's going to be a place you can actually go into, or if it's going to be part of the ride. It's going to be there.
Oh.
So to me, it is a little unsettling now to know that there is an AI inside the Millennium Falcon, and no one cares anymore. And Lando, who is in love with the robot, gambles the Millennium Falcon away with the AI that he loves so much. That
It's sort of referenced
really
in one of the original movies.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about the voice, or about the
Dialect.
the C-3PO says something
Yeah.
about it. Yeah,
It's a
about,
peculiar dialect.
yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like it was another thing that they had to like hit us over the head with and be like, well, let's explain that.
Yeah.
I haven't been wondering that for the last 30 years. Like
I've
the ship
been
has
up
your...
at nights going, what is going on with this ship? Now, the actress that played her, just a little side note, said that she went to audition and said that it was for a droid, and she didn't know what a droid was. So she just went in there and acting like herself, and they're like, could you be a little more droid? And she was like, oh gosh, it's a robot, isn't it? so she said she just started moving like a robot and like saying the line.
I don't know why, because L3 was not a robot. I mean,
She's a lady.
She was a lady, and I did not like her at all.
Get those hips.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Lando did.
Oh, Lando sure did.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was that one actress at first. She was in Game of Thrones, and she was in the.
No, she's Phasma. She's Phasma.
Yeah, Phasma. It sounded like Phasma.
It did. I was like discreetly looking it up on my phone. I was like, what? She makes another appearance.
Like,
oh, why?
It's like, we'll make it up to you. You didn't really get to do anything in the last movie. So
that's why she never takes her helmet off, and you only see like her eye, because they take her out of the Falcon, and she becomes Phasma.
Oh, so Kylo downloads her from the Millennium Falcon. And Phasma. That's why she's all shiny.
That was his childhood girlfriend.
Yeah,
he's like, be more droid.
Well, I'll tell you, when they were loading her into the Falcon, I was like, oh my gosh, if they start talking to the ship, if this turns into Knight Rider, I am walking out.
Or like, what's Miles from Tomorrowland on the
oh
Disney
my
show.
gosh. Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
The
doors from Hitchhiker's Guide.
It's the house from Eureka. There's so many things we can say.
I want to know how that ship got so dirty on the inside. Like they walked in, I was like, "What ship is this? It's so white."
I'm surprised.
Chewie. Are they smokers? It's like they're smokers.
Chewie's a heavy smoker. He's a chain smoker.
Chewie rolls around in the mud and then goes in there and just rolls around on the walls.
That's why Chewie sounds like that. Yeah. Is just because he's been smoking so much.
He's 190.
Yeah, he's 190. He's been smoking for years.
It was probably Lando. Lando, after he lost the ship to Han, he was like, "Well, forget you," and he goes in there and just like wrecks the place and then leaves. That's probably what happened.
I'm sure they'll explain
what
the next
Lando
one.
calls Maz. He's like, "Hey, Maz."
Hey, Maz.
What another one for Han.
That could be funny. That could be funny. And they just kind of like sit there and look at him like, what is wrong with you?
Capes. It's a custom piece. Yeah.
Colt 45s all around.
Oh
now
man,
that was his Empire cape in the closet, wasn't it?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, the blue one. Yeah,
probably in there somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not like L3 just because she was so different than any droid we've ever seen before or since. I mean, she almost seemed sentient, like she was alive, which was bizarre to me. And she got killed off so fast, I didn't even have time to even care. And that was like one of the scenes that I feel like they could have done a little bit differently. Because I know they had to have that droid rebellion, I suppose. Mm-hmm. But they could have had a different rebellion. They could have had a Wookiee rebellion, and Han could have been involved, which would have kind of helped kind of bond Chewie and Han a little bit more closely together, And they could have just been like Wookiees like going crazy and whatnot, and could have still helped him get all the coaxium out of there and whatnot. And then Chewie feels like he owes him, he helped save my family. I love you, man.
I thought because she was named L3. And then he later has a robot called Lobot. That L3 was going to evolve into that guy from.
That could have been cool if it had been a sassy English lady.
Yeah. But she got damaged or whatever, and he took that and he used that to form his kind of number 2 on Cloud City. I thought that's what they were going to end up doing with that.
Hey, intern, I need to put something in the back of your head.
Because he was like an android or something.
Yeah.
Was he? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the thing. Even when Lando's like, "No, L3, no," I'm like,
But I mean,
really?
does-
You're that broken up over it? All we've seen you do is sit around and record your videos and stuff. I mean,
yeah, this does make me question his relationship with Lobot now, though.
Lobot
good
was
thing they.
uh,
good thing-
There's something else going on there. now.
Lobot was
It's
just
a
his DJ. That's all he was. DJ
Good
Lobot.
thing 3PO's in pieces on Cloud City.
Oh, wonder
He's
how
like,
that happened.
Is that red
Whoa.
flag mean it's recording or no?
that wasn't
Well,
a
over there.
stormtrooper. That was Lando in there.
You having problems with your droid?
Yeah. So now,
Tried to
Thank
put
you.
chapstick on. That was sort of creepy. Ray's gearing up for.
he shouldn't have been
The
hitting
gear
on
up.
Leia. He would have been C-3PO, R2D2.
What? We couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he wouldn't have been hitting on Leia. He would have been hitting on C-3PO and R2D2.
He hits on everybody.
That's why he was concerned about 3PO.
Lando.
He
I
probably
could have
did.
my people fix him.
He's like 3PO, you a girl robot.
Oh my!
Change your voice. Change your voice and put on this wig.
Now you're from
God.
Spaceballs.
This episode's gonna have a very good rating on.
So your daughter was listening to that, Ray?
I'm gonna tell her not to listen to this one. It wasn't very good, honey. Don't listen
Yeah,
to this.
just stop after 52.
Oh man!
Heavy on the beeps.
Good night, everybody.
Oh,
Anyway,
no.
so I think we've run Solo into the ground.
Oh.
I'm trying to think of
Poor
anything
Solo.
else we could talk about.
Well, at least we didn't find out where he gets his vest from. So there's hope.
There's
We'll
hope
find
for
out
a
in the sequel.
sequel.
Where
Yeah.
does he get the vest?
He got the vest from off the guy that got his arms ripped off because the sleeves got ripped off, so it was just a vest. He's like, "Hey, that looks
Well,
pretty nice there with those
That's
sleeves."
a spoiler.
I was very glad that he was not wearing the vest because I hate the fact that it's like that's like his uniform in the fourth film and the sixth film. So, my favorite Han has always been Empire Han. I love him in the jacket. When I was like a little kid, that was the little Han action figure I always played with.
Oh.
So yes, I liked Han in the jacket and in a different jacket, not the. I only have a vest and a jacket wardrobe, but
Yeah. Oh, Han or Han. Whoever you
Oh,
are.
head.
Oh,
So
Han.
So what about the where he gets his last name when he's getting ready to leave? Is that what is that? I mean,
yes,
I-
Improvising.
what is that?
Bad writing. I don't know.
Yeah. I think the guy should have went through like 3 or 4 names before he got to Solo. And then Han was like, "I'll take that one."
Alone?
yeah.
Alone? Sad.
Lone Star?
That would have been hilarious.
Or just not have it be so heavy-handed. I mean, it could have just
Yeah.
been like, what's your name or what family are you with? And he could just been like, I'm by myself. I'm traveling solo, and he just like types it in and hands it to him.
Yeah.
And as he's walking away, he's like,
Yeah.
I'm solo.
Which is,
He's just like, okay, cool.
it's sort of funny
Yeah.
because later on he talks about his dad. So he
I know
knew
his dad
his
had
dad.
no name either.
Yeah.
probably knew his dad's name, but I don't know. I guess he was just trying to hurry to get away from
We are the
Somebody's hiding
Johnsons. Your
something.
name is Han Johnson. You know
Han
this.
Johnson.
Han Johnson. Now,
Wait,
that's
Your
a
dad's
story.
name's Anakin? No.
Right. I mean, he could be hiding something. We don't know for sure. I mean, maybe he didn't.
Maybe-
he's not
maybe-
proud of where he
Maybe
comes from,
it's Skywalker.
or maybe he's related to Darth Maul somehow.
Yeah, it's
No,
Maul.
No.
Han
sorry.
Maul.
Han Maul.
And Mole. Head Mole.
Hand Mall. Sounds like an actual mall somewhere.
What if he finds out that Kira is actually his sister?
Uh,
I would not have
That's,
Kind of like Luke finds out about Leia.
what? They're brother and sister?
I mean,
no, it's impossible. She's so cute.
That's impossible.
Oh,
wow.
man. Well, this has been an episode.
So you can
Glad
call
I
it
could
that.
help.
It's been fun. But we're at an hour 9, hour 10.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's short.
It is
That's
short.
short.
We got more to talk about.
We got more. Well, actually, we do have like tons of stuff to talk about. What's today's date?
Of course, you got about 2 hours of editing to do. So.
Yeah. So really, this is like a 30-minute episode.
That's right.
So this was June 5th. Like everything in the world dropped today, which was crazy. Which we don't have to
It's
talk about
Tuesday.
everything.
We don't usually have things on. We don't record on a Tuesday. I think that's the problem. Is everything gets released on a Tuesday.
Yeah, well, everything and the kitchen sink got released today. There was
Whoa.
Avengers 4 leaked a photo somehow. Bumblebee trailer hit. Wreck-It Ralph 2 other trailer hit. Lego Movie, the second one, trailer hit.
That's twos.
There was an announcement about a Joker movie, with Jared Leto, which I'm good.
We don't have to talk about that.
I'm good without.
That.
And
Hey,
then
check
there was
out the Addams Family.
Addams Family thing hit. Yeah,
That looked awesome. It's like Tim Burton, but it's like CGI, so
Hmm.
it's gonna be good.
Captain
Didn't see
America Shield thing was filed. Patent was filed by Disney.
Was filed.
Like a dinner plates or something.
It's probably going to be
Commemorative
for the
dinner
new
plates?
California
Wolverine
Adventure
claws.
I'll
Marvel
never
Land.
stain.
So, anywho, well,
And that was Tuesday.
yeah. So maybe we'll get to that stuff later on in another episode. Maybe. What did you think? Just real fast. What did you think about the picture that was leaked for Avengers 4?
Hulk's got Spanx.
Hawkeye was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there. Wasp wasn't in it.
Black Widow had her red hair again, right?
Yeah.
And it grew long. She's got superpowers where her hair grows long.
And
It
War
didn't-
Machine's got better armor. Remember when we did the Infinity War one, and I was complaining that like Rhodey never gets like an upgrade to his armor. He gets an upgrade to his armor. It looks like
They listened to Ray.
it's about time. Tony's like, I'm on like my 45th armor. We'll upgrade you to number 2.
Yeah. Well, he looks like Brainiac to me, though.
Yeah, it doesn't look. I mean, it looks like somebody just drew
Yeah.
a picture. It doesn't look.
I mean, it's just a mock. It's like
Yeah.
a mock-up.
Because
So.
Black Widow does not look like Black Widow.
Well, and Hulk is totally different. So I mean, obviously, maybe a lot happens.
And there's somebody
I don't
behind.
know.
There's somebody behind Hulk. You can see his
There is.
arm.
Everybody,
Mhm.
pull out your phone.
Everybody look.
Right?
didn't
Am I
see
not?
this.
I'm not making that up, right?
You're making it up.
You're making it.
There's somebody standing behind Hulk.
No, that's Wreckage, I think.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Is that a?
Looks like somebody running.
Huh?
Huh? That's a
What?
leg. That's Black Widow's leg.
It's Galactus.
It's you see the pointer, you see the arrow, and it's like an arm, and then if you look below next to Rocket, there's a leg.
Yeah, that's Black Widow's
It's
leg.
like Black Widow's leg.
What
He's up in the air. You're like
Can you
jumping.
not?
Oh, okay, I guess.
It's
an
an
island.
Easter egg leg.
I
Whose
thought,
leg
I
is
thought it was gonna
this?
be Brad Pitt, just like in Deadpool. Brad Pitt in the background.
Spoilers.
Yeah, that's spoilers up. So
I mean, it looks similar to other marketing stuff that they've done in the past. So I mean, it could just
Yeah.
be like something that it may not be final art, but it could be,
Thor's got more of a traditional Thor outfit again.
well, yeah, they all
no
do.
helmet. Of course not.
No helmet, of course. Yeah,
Yes.
got to show off his new haircut.
His hair has not grown.
No, his hair hasn't grown. Yeah, he's
Poor
No,
Rocket.
but Black Widow. She's got that hair growing superpower.
She's wearing a
Mm.
wig, because she's a spy.
Captain America's got more of a Captain America outfit. Like it's all nice and
Well,
new, but he-
there is thought that
still no
they've gone
shield.
back in the
It's a
past.
shield.
So
Well, I was
no
telling
shield.
Chris today. I thought I heard a rumor that the next one, it may not pick up right where this one left off. Like there could be a passage of time.
yeah.
and I'm good with that.
So. But yeah.
Thank you guys for coming on. We need to start wrapping up. Next week, join us for Micah from the World of Micah. If you haven't seen his videos, check them out on YouTube at the World of Micah. They're pretty fun. They're short too, so you don't have to think you have to watch a 30-minute
Short.
30-minute video or something.
Not like us.
Not like us. Ray, thank you again for joining us.
Anytime, man.
Yeah, whenever the next Star Wars thing's out,
I'll see you in 3 months.
I'm going to the Void next week, so.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, next I go down. I fly in late on Monday, and I'm there Tuesday, Wednesday, and then fly back out Thursday. So I'm going to catch the Void and go to Disney for a couple days.
Nice.
So I can report back on that.
Yeah.
So excited.
Take your time as much as you can, because you can do a little exploring, and there is some randomness. When we did it the second time, some things happened that didn't happen the first time based on things that we did. Yeah.
I hope I don't get. It's my wife and I going. I hope we don't get paired with like other people that are just dumb.
What's this do?
Just ask them first. Excuse me, are you dumb?
Just run
Okay,
through.
I'm going with you.
I'll like hit them. I'll just stalk them out with the.
Can you kill the people you're with in the game?
Yeah, just kill. You're dead.
Jeez.
You can shoot them, but
I'll rip their masks off and be like, you can't see anymore.
you can't breathe in space.
So I'm excited. We're going to do that and go to the parks, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, maybe something else. Get some free tickets.
Ooh.
Hey-o. And I don't know what else we're going to go to Homecoming to eat there.
And get some.
Oh, it's not like
Yeah, so my wife
high
can...
school homecoming.
Huh? No,
Like high school
Spider-Man Homecoming. We're going to go...
Gonna go see Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah. No, it's a restaurant there by Chef Art Smith, who used to be Oprah's chef. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
And you get some chicken, and you get some chicken.
Check under your chairs.
Check under your chairs. Oh, there's some gum.
There's a whole bucket of chicken under here.
Mine has speakers.
It's keeping me awake during the show.
I swear. It had to be.
No, there was no speakers.
It shook. No. That's what I've told everybody. It's like, it had speakers in it.
My butt was rumbling and everything.
I mean,
I think your chair was moving for other reasons.
I don't know.
Now, in the
it didn't do
theater,
that at other theaters.
Did it do in the other theater where there's that one line from Beckett that sounds like there's somebody in the back of the theater yelling at you? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that.
All around you.
No, it was like, hey.
Yeah, it was like, hey. We're all three of us turning like, who's talking?
Yeah, because it's like a pause in the dialogue, and it sounds like someone's just yelling at the screen.
What?
Oh, man.
Woke me up. Anyways, all right. Well, until next time, hey Brad, be rad, the man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming on.
Yes, thanks, guys.
I hope you enjoyed yourself a little bit.
I did.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. Thanks, guys.
We're just going to leave it at good. It's a solid good.
That's going to be his review on this. He's gonna
It's a 2-star because I didn't like the chicken
Yeah.
nuggets.
Yeah. It's gonna be awkward at work with Katrin tomorrow. Now, like, hey, yeah.
It's always awkward.
No, not at all.
Just waiting for him to be like, "You don't know IT." Be like, "Oh,
No.
but how about comics?"
Anyways,
So,
thanks
for having me.
Yeah, anytime. We'll do more Star Wars stuff in the not so near future, or near future. I don't know.
Just
Next week. Or...
Next week.
That's a long time ago in a galaxy
far away. Oh, the only thing I didn't talk about that I wanted to talk about was the music for the movie. I thought they did a great job with the music for Solo, but that's just me.
Oh.
I like the nods to the past movies. Anyways, okay, so this has been I Am Geek, episode 59. Next week we'll be back with you with episode 60, the big 60.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yep. About ready to get the retirement age, right?
Sure.
Not.
65, right?
We gotta.
The show's going to drastically change when we hit 65. It's just gonna, we're going to be talking about like socks and sandals. And,
we'll be doing it a lot
diapers.
earlier in the evening.
yeah.
Yeah. We're eating dinner at 4:30.
My generation doesn't get Social Security, so I don't know.
Anyways, thank you again for listening, all the listeners out there. Please like, comment, subscribe, rate on iTunes. Make us feel good about ourselves. I don't know. Anyways, thank you again, and we will talk at you again next week on I Am